everyone is talking about apple cider vinegar, and people go all the time. I see people on the grocery store or in the supermarket, everyone's taking apple cider vinegar. But I see two things. I see people putting a lot of faith into apple cider vinegar because it's going to cure everything. And I see also a lot of people, nutritionists, physicians, saying that that's a scam that lives in the bro world or whatever, and it has no evidence at all, no science. It's just completely a scam or just a hype. What's the truth? Is it something that it's real, or is it something that it's a lie? And what I want to talk to you about in this video is that you can take apple cider vinegar, and there's very scientific ways in which you can take apple cider vinegar. And the good news is that there is a lot of data and there is science, and we understand now why it could be something good. I remember a patient even asked me that, saying that she has noticed that whenever she takes apple cider vinegar, she has positive changes in her skin. And I said, okay, let me go and check. And I checked and I couldn't find anything. But I started thinking and said, you know what? There could be a scientific way in which we can explain it. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be telling you which are the best ways in which you can incorporate it. So let's start with those false myths. So the first one, and the most common one that I see all the time, it's going to be detrimental for your tooth enamel. And people say, no, that it's true. It depends. So dentists say that it is going to ruin your enamel. Why? Because acids ruin enamel in your teeth. So yeah, it could be possible. It could be possible because every time they want to remove the enamel whenever they're doing treatment, they use acids. But also it's a acid in a very high concentration, and you're putting it directly and you're leaving it right there. Because I see a lot of people concerned about drinking vinegar, but I have never seen any dentist or anyone concerned about putting it in your salad. And then when you're putting it in your salad, you're chewing, there is contact. If you just drink it, or if you chew and then you maybe use a little bit of water, nothing is going to happen. Myth number two, that it's a miraculous way of losing weight. It's not going to happen. It's the only thing that you have to do? No. That it's going to affect the body's pH because you need to be taking alkaline stuff. And if you go for acid stuff, then you're going to ruin everything? Nope, that's not the point. The body has different pHs. The stomach is acid. The vagina in women is acid. The skin is acid. There are some organs that are neutral, like the duodenum. There are some organs or some places which is slightly alkaline, like the blood. So the thing is, if you drink acids, are not going to make your body be acidic. That's completely a myth. It's also a myth that it detoxifies and eliminates all the body toxins. That's not true. That it's used to treat or to heal completely cancer. That's not true. But there is data, like the one I'm going to show you, about the benefits on apple cider vinegar, on cardiovascular disease, on lipid profile, on glycemic parameters. So on blood sugar control, studies suggest that it might help maintaining blood sugar and weight loss in a way that apple cider vinegar acts on weight management and also in visceral adiposity index, lowering in people that are overweighted or obese. But the thing is that these patients in some studies, they were calorie restricted, but they compare when they were calorie restricted, they see a patient being just calorie restricted with apple cider vinegar and just calorie restricted. And it showed that for patients that used apple cider vinegar, it was slightly better. What's the thing with apple cider vinegar and digestion? So the thing is, number one, we need the stomach to be acidic in order to work. And you're like, okay, so what's the thing? The thing is, with stress, with the lack of sleep, with our diet, and also with age, the stomach starts losing its normal capacity of producing acid, which is absolutely normal. Normal for digestion of proteins, normal for digestion of fats, of carbohydrates, of the stimulation of the gallbladder and of the pancreas depends in a part on the stomach to be normally physiologically acidic. So when we incorporate acids in our diet, when we're losing them before, we are making something good for the stomach. This condition is called hypochlorhydria. Hypo, which is lowered production of acid in the stomach. What else? It has interactions with the microbiota. There are studies showing how apple cider vinegar can act as a functional component or even like a nutraceutical because of the modifications, the positive modifications that it does on the stimulation of the microbiota, which is the beneficial microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, parasites that we have in all of our gut lining, all over our body, but all over our gut lining, and also the production of the anti-inflammatory compounds such as butyrate, which makes it very, very good for digestion, for the immunity, for glucose control, even for cardiovascular protection. When apple cider vinegar is acting, stimulating properly the microbiota, stimulating it as for the production of butyrate, it's acting like a prebiotic without being a prebiotic per se. Also, apple cider vinegar has antioxidant properties because it has polyphenols, and polyphenols are a type of antioxidant that also help balancing all the damage when we have excess of free radicals going on in our blood or anywhere in the body. So what makes apple cider vinegar special? Two things: the type of acid that it has, which is called acetic acid, and also the polyphenols inside. Acetic acid is the one that makes all the benefits in the endocrine, everything related with hormones, everything related with metabolism, lipid control, glucose control, insulin control, everything related, metabolism, endocrine function, cardiovascular protection, and also the protection for the everything related with your GI tract. Which is the best way to consume it? For me, the best way to consume it is when you put it in water. Per 8 to 10 ounces, you're going to put 1 teaspoon. So if you have a liter, you're going to put in between 3 or 4 teaspoons. If you think it's too much, then you can scale it in the way that you think it's better for you. You can start with 1, then with 2, then with 3, then with 4. And just start having little sips during the day. When you have little sips during the day, you're putting low amount. You're not going to burn anything. It's not going to be that much. You're going to be controlling and stimulating everything that I just mentioned for your stomach, for your microbiota, for your lipid production, for everything with glucose. Try to have maybe a little bit more of sips before each meal, because studies have shown when you drink it before meals, the glucose spike and the insulin spike afterwards is going to be lower. Also, you can put it as a dressing on salads, as I mentioned at the beginning. You could drink it, or you can put it as a dressing, or you could do both. You just look what works best for you. Of course, when you're putting it in a dressing, mixing it with the rest of the vegetables, with the rest of the food, then you could be lowering the amount of acid because maybe you're combining it with something that it's neutral or it's very alkaline if you're, I don't know, getting potatoes or something like that. If you think that you might have an ulcer, gastric ulcer, esophageal ulcer, or an ulcer anywhere, please don't drink apple cider vinegar until this is completely healed, cured, if you have everything under control. If there is a risk of bleeding, please not drink apple cider vinegar in any way. If you have some symptoms of reflux, heartburn, maybe gastritis, you get bloated all the time, everything, but it's just something mild, you can start taking it and try to see which is the quantity that you tolerate. And also something that you could do is to blend it with some aloe vera. When you put a square of aloe vera has a pH that is near 6. So you need to try to counterbalance or see if you're going to use maybe less, or you're going to put aloe vera because of the anti-inflammatory properties that has on the gut lining. Which are the ways that I don't recommend using apple cider vinegar. And please mark my words, don't drink it alone and while fasting. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh doctor, I'm saying what you said about apple cider vinegar, and after treating thousands of patients and helping them using apple cider vinegar, you could burn your esophagus, you could burn your stomach if you take it like this. It's completely a mistake. And number 2, I'm not a fan of gummies with apple cider vinegar. They taste really good, but they're very expensive. And also the pH of the gummy, when it happens the same thing with aloe vera. When you're putting a gummy, the pectin or the gelatin or whatever you're putting in the gummy, it's going to counterbalance the acidity, the normal acidity of the gummy, and you're not going to get all the effects. The way that I like it better is I put apple cider vinegar with lemon, And that combination, I love it. That's something I drink. That's something my wife drinks. That's something my kids even drink. And I promised you that I was going to tell you everything about the skin. The thing about the skin is when you make your stomach work better, when you make your microbiota work better, you're making the assimilation of nutrients better, but also you're making better the gut-skin axis. And everything related with the microbiota is going to make the gut-skin axis to work better. So again, is there a study showing and proving this? No, but it's possible. And we can wait and see if someone wants to write about this. We'll wait, and whenever it comes, I'll be here to tell you. Before you leave, please remember to subscribe to the channel. So whenever these studies come, you're gonna be the first one to be notified, and we can keep on growing this community, which the only purpose is that you regain the power of knowing that you are in control of your health. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.